Hello students. So this time we have come up with the business studies, a new thing, right? So in class 12 you have got several things under this business studies and we are concentrating right now on marketing management. And we have selected a subtopic under that which is known as marketing management philosophies. And this demo class is on part 1 of that. I mean, under your chapter there are 5 philosophies which have been described, but we are going to describe 2 of them in this demo session. So let's get started. So, before I start discussing about the marketing management philosophies, we have to understand the meaning of marketing management. Okay, so what do you mean by marketing? Being a commerce student, I don't think I should be explaining the terms and differences between the selling and marketing, isn't it? Because we all know that selling is a part of marketing. And marketing starts with market research and it ends with market research again. So it's a 360-degree program for any marketing management, and it actually starts with marketing research when the marketing manager finds out what exactly is needed by the market, right? And then again, after the sales are made, they get the feedback from the purchasers, and then again the new kind of research starts, that whether they could make the customers happy or not through their production and selling process. Okay, so to understand the marketing management more, we have to know the marketing function. I'm not going into details of the economics of marketing function and all that, but just in brief, I want to describe this, that market function means whatever variables are needed for any marketing manager to understand the market properly. Okay, so what are these variables? Obviously, the variable will be related to demands. Variable will be related to the competitors, what they are producing, and if the product you are producing is differentiated from their production or not. What is your production techniques? Is it for large scale or small scale production? Who are your target customers? All this. So market function is to be managed by marketing manager. Okay, and the next one I would want to describe marketing management as that it obviously is used to achieve the desired exchange outcomes. Okay, now what is exchange outcomes? Exchange means obviously exchange of goods and services. Now what outcome do you expect? Being a businessman, obviously your objective is to profit maximization or sales maximization, whatever it is, you want some profit from selling, isn't it? So in order to exchange outcomes to be desirable for you, it should be profitable. So a marketing management manager should be able to sell the products in such a manner that as the owner is obviously targeting to get some profit, that target is achieved. Okay, now again there is another concept through which I can describe marketing management, that it creates superior values to attract the customers. Obviously this is related to advertisement, sales promotion, and push sales, then attracting the customers by different methods like making some offers, discounts, etc. Okay, so this means that marketing manager should have that capability to attract the customer in such a manner that it creates some value in them. Okay, that means the customers will be attracted towards you only when you are going to give them some value. Say for example, you are purchasing a pen of 10 rupees. Okay, so you are giving 10 rupees to the shopkeeper. Now you want something which is valued at rupees 10. If you get a pencil at rupees 10, that means you are not going to get rupees 10 value product. The worth is lesser than what you pay. Obviously you would not pay rupees 10 for a pencil. So being a customer, you have to understand that you are getting value or not. If you are getting value by paying something, then obviously you would pay to get that value, but if you are not getting any value, that means the sale will be decreasing for the owner. Okay, now another one, this is the last one in marketing management concept that I am going to describe, that it creates demand. How does it create demand? In two ways. Firstly, when there is no market, it builds a market. That means if you are going to launch a new product, there is no market for this product, right? So you are going to create demands in the minds of the customers that yes, they definitely wants this. They have never used this product, but they definitely wants this, right? When mobile phones came into existence, then what happened? Before that, there were only that landline phones, isn't it? But the customers had to believe in such a manner, that means they were being lured or being attracted, that yes, you need this. You haven't used mobile phones till now, but still you need this. Okay, so that is creation of demand when there is no market. And then again, there is another way of creating demand when there is market. There are competitors flooded in the market, but still you want to create demand in that manner, that you are going to give them something which is new, which is modified version of whatever is there in the market, something with superior quality, or something which can be differentiated from any other products produced by the competitors. So there are definite techniques in which you can create values and create demands. Okay, so see, you will get different definition in the books that you follow, but I'm not going for the definitions which are given in the books that you can already have from the books, right? So I'm going to give you the insights in a different manner, in a very practical way, so that you can understand and write the answers all by yourself. Okay, so as described in your syllabus, there are 5 philosophies given, and we are going to talk about them one by one in very brief manner. I'm not going into details of this because those will be given in the next slides. And also, as I have already started the class with saying that I'm not going to discuss all of them together. So this class is only for first 2 philosophies, and the rest of this will be discussed in the next class. Okay. So first, what is there? Number one is production concept. Okay, as the name suggests, this depends on the method of production. Next one is product concept. This depends on the product itself. I mean, we are concentrating on what actually we can produce. Next one is selling concept. Here we are going to sell the products that we can produce, and we are going to pursue the customer so that they can purchase from us. Next one is marketing concept. Here we are going to describe about how we are going for the marketing techniques, so that we are going to describe and we are going to know the needs of the customers, and we are going to put those needs into production process so that we can produce the products which are needed and required by the customers. Okay, and the last concept, which is actually the modern concept, is known as societal concept. Here we are going to know, understand, and pay attention to the societal norms or environment protection or social responsibilities, whatever it is. It has got some long-term effect on the society. Okay, so now from here we are going to discuss about the first two, production concept and product concept. Okay, now starting with the first concept, that is production concept. First of all, I describe the era in which this production concept started. The era was just after the Industrial Revolution. I mean to say, when the Industrial Revolution just started in Europe, this era also started, this production concept era. Okay, now as you have already learnt in the history, the Industrial Revolution 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is, I think most of you know more than myself, so I'm not going into details of this, but whatever is related to the marketing management, that only I'll be going to describe. Now, for Industrial Revolution, the market was such that there were less number of suppliers and more number of public who were having some demands for different types of goods. So the next feature is market with high demand. Now in this market with high demand, there were less number of suppliers, so anyone could sell anything whatever they wanted, but obviously the want must be there from the people. So the next feature was that there were less number of competitors. I mean to say that if there are less number of suppliers, then obviously the competition would be lower. So anyone who could produce the goods in such a manner that it could be sold in the market and which had some demand in the market, then that person is having the profit from their production. So here production is more important than any other thing, because market is already there for the product, the demand is already there, you can produce, you have that product what to produce for you, but only thing you will be concerned about is how to produce, the production methods and concept, so that it should be readily available. I mean, if you are producing it in a large quantity, that means it will be readily available to all the people whoever had demanded that product, right? So this is one of the most important thing, which was the concern for the producers. I mean, they should produce in such a quantity that it should be easily available to the doorsteps of the consumers. And next one was affordability. I mean to say that obviously there were demand, but the demand was not in a manner that whatever price you would ask them to pay, they would be ready to pay. It was not that. The situation was like the demand was there, but the people were not having the paying capacity to a large extent. I mean that whatever you had used to demand for the from the people, that yes, I have this product and please pay me this price, it was not possible that everyone would be equally eligible to pay that. So in order to increase your purchaser, you should be able to produce something which should be affordable for them. I mean, the selling price should be affordable for them. Okay, so the main thing here was large scale production in both the ways. I mean, in order to make them available to all the people, you had to produce it in a large scale, and also to make it affordable, you had to decrease your cost of production by taking the advantage of scale of production. So if you could extend your scale of production or increase the quantity of production, then obviously cost per unit would have been diminished. So in a way that in order to uh, generalize this or conceptualize this era, we should say that production concept dependent on large scale production. Okay. Now the second concept, product concept. Okay, now as in the case of production concept, we have seen that during the early phases of industrial revolution, there were less number of people who could produce the products in the market, and there were more number of persons who demanded the products. Okay, so this concept, the product concept, followed the production concept. So at that time, during the production concept, what happened? There were more demand in the market, so people who could produce something, they understood that if we go on producing these goods on a larger scale, then we can make some profit. So more and more number of suppliers came in the market to raise the competition. Okay, so here after the production concept, when this concept, this product concept set in, then the market was flooded with the supply of goods. Okay, and in as a result, obviously there were large number of competitors in the market. Now what happened? The competitors were producing the similar kind of goods, so it was not possible for any one of them to make some extra profit than the others. Okay, so profitability used to decrease for them. Now they wanted to produce something which could be distinguished from each other. So there were use for superior product production. That means they had the plan to produce something which could be superior than the others. Okay, so how this could be done? To improve the features of the product, to improve the performance of the product, or to improve the quality of the product. These were the things they were concerned more than using the production techniques for the large scale production. Okay, so the main focus, which was large scale production in the earlier concept, shifted now to product improvement. They knew that if they could improve the product, then they could have an edge over the competitors and they could win over them. So the people would be more attracted to buy their goods just to have the superior quality of the products, those which could not be produced by any other competitors. Okay, so this was the next concept, which you happen to be the last for this class, and the other concepts will be discussed in the next demo class which will be uploaded soon. Okay. As you know, we are Virtual World of Learning and we are on Facebook, YouTube, Telegram, and you can also email us at newerafeducation2020 @gmail.com. And don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Thank you all.